Hey guys, how's it going? It's Al, week 11, and I've got a ReignMakers preview for you over on DraftKings.com. If you have played ReignMakers, awesome. You probably already know what's going on. I'm going to take a look at the top 3 superstars on Optimal. I'm also going to take a look at some quarterbacks, running backs, and wide receivers that are also pacing as the optimal plays for the week to give you the idea of what you can do in the market, whatever tier you are playing at. And also, DraftKings released a Thanksgiving Day slate, a massive $2 million tournament for next week. I'm recording this video on Thursday. That's when the packs drop. This video goes live on Friday morning. There'll probably be some packs still that you can go grab for that if you wanted to. We'll talk about that after the bump, but it's very exciting, at least for people who are very into ReignMakers. So welcome to the show. I appreciate you guys being here as always. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the notifications bell. And your homework for this video is to find a friend that does not understand ReignMakers or has not tried it out. Click the share button right underneath the screen and share it with your friend who wants to get into ReignMakers or that you want to get into ReignMakers, because we got to grow this game. So let's do our part. Let's go.
He's a legend.
The Smiz Gang Listener League is posted for week 11. We got to fill this one. It's 4,000 people to get it completely full, but it does not exist in the DraftKings lobby. The only way to get there is to go through my link. That link can be found in the link tree at smizzle.tv/links. You want to know where the links are? They're at smizzle.tv/links, as well as everything else that I do. $10 to enter, 3 max, $40,000, the best tournament on DraftKings because there is absolutely no rake. Go to smizzle.tv/links and get your entries today. I mentioned that they are doing a specific holiday pack drop. These are the animations for the holiday packs. I like this animation. It looks really cool. It's got like a little, you know, a little sweater on it. It looks like it's got some Team Fortress 2 font right in here. Holiday 22, one rare or better in every single pack. If we take a look at the rules here, you got to build a lineup with all the different sweater cards. There's a $2 million prize pool contest with $1 million to first place. I would have preferred that it was much flatter, but it's not, because it's DraftKings, and DraftKings is always going to put $1 million up top instead of going $2 million with 200,000 up top that everybody still would have played and give out a lot of money to everybody else down the line. But I digress. Hopefully one of us in the Smiz Gang can win the $1 million prize on Thanksgiving. You have to have 5 of these sweater cards to enter that tournament. They will be all different tiers. The cards after that holiday game, that Thursday Thanksgiving slate, will turn into whatever the cards are. They'll stay sweater cards to differentiate them from regular cards, but the elites will play like elite. The legendaries will play like the legendaries. There's like a 0.5% chance of pulling a ReignMaker tier card. The packs are $200 a piece. The packs come with 1 guaranteed core flannel card. You need 5 flannel cards in order to enter a lineup. So I'm looking at the packs as though they're an entry fee into the tournament. Here's the prize pool for the tournament. They have the list of the cards. You can check that out yourself. So I had to mention it because next week is Thanksgiving, and I think that this has been a fun game, and who doesn't want to try and win $1 million? But let's focus on week 11. Justin Jefferson is my top optimal play on the week, and this just so happens to be my Justin Jefferson ReignMaker tier card. I forget what set this from, the Momentum set. Fantastic play pretty much every single week. Great situation here against Dallas. I know that people say, well, Dallas has a really good defense. This is one of the highest total games on the slate. It's also guaranteed to be in good weather. There's 3 games that have high totals. One of them keeps bouncing up and down based on the expected snow that is coming in Buffalo and the weather that it is in Buffalo if they don't move that game to like Detroit. So Justin Jefferson, one of the key plays that you can easily stack or build through with bring back plays on Dallas. Obviously not CeeDee Lamb, as he still is a superstar, but guys like Dalton Schultz, Tony Pollard, if he's still the starter, you can use him as a bring back play for a Dak Gallup stack. A lot of ways to get to him. His price right now is only $12, $13 at the core tier, moving up to about $65 at rare, and then obviously up from there. Saquon Barkley, the second optimal player. A running back that's a superstar is hard to build around, but it's been easier to build around him due to some non-superstars. We're going to talk about a few in a minute. If you do have a Saquon Barkley, if you're interested in buying a Saquon Barkley, since you cannot play a superstar up a tier, this one's elite. You need 4 elite cards and 1 rare or elite or higher, and 1 rare to play that card at that elite tier, which has the largest prize pool right now in the industry. Great matchup this week up against Detroit. His core card, $12.50, 60-ish. This is about what you're going to see for the superstars pretty much all the time, except for a couple. And then the elite tier, $6.50, $6.90, and then they go up from there. You can get to these Saquon lineups this week because of all the non-superstars that don't need to be stacked. Most of the top stacks on a week in, week out basis have one superstar in them. You know, Kirk Cousins, Minnesota stacks have a superstar. Dallas stacks have a superstar. Buffalo stacks have a superstar. They've always got, the Chiefs stacks, Mahomes. They've always got one superstar in those lineups. So hard to build correlated lineups, but easy to build one-off lineups around that superstar running back. And those are much more viable this week, mostly because Justin Fields has been the QB1 since like week 5. So you can play your Justin Fields cards with your Saquon Barkley cards somewhat optimally. Josh Allen, from everything that I've read, from the people that I trust in terms of weather, have this game, if it stays in Buffalo, not being as affected by snow and wind as the worst forecasts could be projecting for it. The Vegas total fell drastically because of the reports that there could be like 3 to 6 feet of snow during the game. But based on what we've read from other weathermen who do daily fantasy content or weather content specifically for a daily fantasy, or looking at it through a daily fantasy lens, like Kevin Roth at Roto-Grinders, says that the snowfall during the game should be less than 1 inch. Most of that 3 to 6 feet could come well before the game. Friday, Saturday, overnight, Saturday night. And the folks in Buffalo, they know it's not like snow is new to them. They know how to deal with that. So if it's cleared off, Josh Allen could live up to and or exceed his projections this weekend if he's playing in solid weather conditions solid weather conditions in Buffalo, or if they move the game like to Detroit, because Detroit's in New York this week and Buffalo plays in Detroit next week. So that stadium is open. Now it's a dome. Now Josh Allen gets to go to work. His card's slightly more expensive. The other cards that we had seen at the superstar level are like $12. You're looking at $15, $16 for his. 80 or 90. The quarterbacks are so vital because like you can find other running backs, you can find other wide receivers, but you can't ever find another quarterback. There's only one of them on every team. So it's not like you can say, well, I can't really afford, or I don't want to go get JJ, but I can go get TJ Hawkinson, or I can go get Adam Thielen. Can't do that. If you want to play a Buffalo team and you want to play Josh Allen, he's the only way to get to play Josh Allen. So his prices are going to be a lot higher, looking all the way up to like, look, 4, 5, 7,000 for the legendaries. Super powerful card. 1,500, 1,600, $9.99 for this one right here, this elite tier one. Obviously, he's fine. If you wanted to talk more about market conditions, about the sweater set, the holiday set, make sure that you go to the HQ. Go to OpenSea through smizzle.tv/HQ. It'll take you right to our token here at the Smizz Gang HQ key. That will give you access to the HQ channels where we talk about all these NFTs and play to earn games in our Discord community. If you are a channel member on YouTube, you get access to the VIP channels where all the daily fantasy chatter happens. If you have the HQ key, that takes you over to the HQ, unlocks the token locked portion of the Discord where we talk about ReignMakers and everything else. So make sure that you join the conversation today. Justin Fields, the aforementioned Justin Fields, the QB1 since week 5 because of the heavy volume of rushing attempts that he has gotten and the big playability. No quarterback in history has had over 60-yard touchdowns twice in one season. He also had a third one called back against Minnesota way back in like week 5. He's been tremendous and is not a superstar, so you could pull him up a division. So the rares, the cores have gone through the roof. $25 for a Justin Fields core card because you can then play that up in the rare tier. Rares, he is as expensive as Josh Allen because you can play him up in your elite lineups and so on and so forth all the way up the chain. I'm not saying that he's going to score 45, 43 points every single week. That would be an impossibility. But you know that any rushing quarterback has that sort of a ceiling. If they have that cheat code possibility, if they throw for 2 touchdowns, all bets are off. He has been doing an amazing job, both on the ground. His efficiency has improved, throwing the ball as well. Dak Prescott, your number 1 stack of the week. Very easy path to getting to him in ReignMakers because no salaries are involved. The salaries are based on what you pay the players, what you pay for the players. Only $12 in rare. Also, we're at the point in the season where playoff and holiday games, it's not like the only way that they're going to have a holiday game. Yeah, they have that $2 million tournament for the sweater. They also have a really big tournament set for the Thanksgiving Day games as well for the regular cards. So getting these cards that are going to play on Thanksgiving, possibly play in the playoffs, they're going to have heightened market prices and heightened validity for how you can play through these different tournament sets. $12 seems way too cheap for a Dak Prescott right now. $55 for his rare cards and up from there as you move along. Joe Mixon, you got one more week of peak Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon will still be fine after that, right? Like when Jamar Chase comes back, and right now they've said that they are optimistic they can get Jamar Chase back on the field for the week 12 matchup. So this is the last week that you're going to get like probably 25 plus opportunity Joe Mixon, like we saw last game before the bye week. He is once again fresh. Solid matchup this week as well. His core card, $10, not expensive to go get to an extremely optimal play that you could play and wrap around a superstar stack. Whether that's a Justin Jefferson card that you're using in that Joe Mixon lineup, whether that's the Dak Prescott CD Lamb, bring it back with like TJ Hawkinson, use Joe Mixon as a one-off. There's so many different ways that you can get creative around your superstar stacks, specifically at running back when you don't have a running back that has a superstar tag. Which brings me to Jonathan Taylor, who had a superstar tag, but then lost his superstar tag, but then got a new head coach who just says, F it, I'm playing the guy that is the best guy that we have, not taking him off the field, played 95% of snaps, handled 95% of the running back touches the last game that they played in Jeff Sunday's first game as Indy's head coach. They traded away Nyheim Hines. He's going to see more of the passing game usage in games that they play from behind. He still maintains all of the big play, big splash ability that he's ever had. You don't have to worry about his salary either. So like his cards are way too cheap right now, IMO, because of the fact that you could use him as a one-off to wrap around your stacks or to wrap stacks around in your lineups, depending on what level you're playing at. Now, the higher tiered ones, the higher price levels, Elite, Legendary, and ReignMaker, they've kind of adjusted to that already, but the core tier kind of has not. Paying $10 to bring a Jonathan Taylor card up to rare, he's not probably going to make the playoffs, but there's an outside chance that they might make it if they just kind of mess around and do things in a weird way. If they win enough games and just make that, you know, that final seed as a wild card team, they could kind of squeeze into the playoffs. That would be a weird thing that could happen. And then you'd have extended usability on that Jonathan Taylor card if they kind of can get themselves back into shape. Amon-Ra St. Brown seems to be a permanent fixture. The wide receivers seem to be a permanent fixture of this video. The first one, Amon-Ra St. Brown, 30+% of the market share, possibly 35 and north moving forward. There's just nobody else for them that can handle, that can earn as many targets as Amon-Ra St. Brown earns right now until they get Jameson Williams back, which may not come until training camp of next year. We may not see the rookie this year, which just means that Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to have a fantastic run in. No playoff possibility for him. So the prices are down $10, $11, $12 for rare, $60 for core, $60 for rare. Up from there makes for a great bring back play, as the Lions seemingly are always in shootouts because they can score points. Amon-Ra 10+ targets pretty much every week makes for a fantastic ReignMakers card. Stephon Diggs, again, this is tied to the Josh Allen card. Extremely valuable and extremely powerful card based on his floor of targets, and could be underplayed this weekend in regular DFS, but will get played the normal amount in ReignMakers. If you have a card, you're going to make it work. But it could be a higher ceiling card than most people are willing to imagine because of all the weather options that I had talked about earlier when discussing Josh Allen. $30 for his core. Like I said, as powerful a card as this is, great as a one-off if you don't have Josh Allen. If you do have a Josh Allen in any tier, a rare, an elite, a legendary, I guarantee you have already bought a Stephon Diggs. If you have not yet, I mentioned the playoff game abilities that they think they're going to go deep into the playoffs. You'll get extended use out of this card, showdown usage out of this card, and every week one-off or secondary stack usage out of this card. One of the most powerful cards in the game, if not the most powerful card in all of ReignMakers. AJ Brown is the final player on the list. I used the rare card with the little confetti behind him because I like the way that it looked and matches. We got the color match rare. It's not like match. It's not Kelly green. It's a different green. It's like Seahawks green, but like it's close enough. Cut me just a little bit of slack, please. I guess I could have gone with the core to have the silver match with the green. I don't know. I didn't think this through. AJ Brown every week has this massive ceiling, $14 for his core level. His floor is $70 at rare, but be mindful of what the serial numbers are because that is the number one tiebreaker, the only tiebreaker that there is. The lower the serials add up to in your lineup, if there is a tie, that is the one tiebreaker. So pay a little bit extra. Sometimes you can find ones that are like, let's take a look. This one has 345 cards, right? Show all available, 189. So this one is kind of sorted fine. $70 for 189. You could pay $80, $10 more to get down to number 125. Sometimes you'll find one in here that's like number 50, that's like $1 or $2 more than the floor priced one, and I would suggest paying up for the lower serial number whenever you can. So good luck to you this weekend. Thank you for watching the video. Hope that you shared it with a friend. Look out for another one right there.
He's a legend.